Alright, guys, what's up? It's Rod with Ono GTO. We are back on the other side. Literally nothing has happened. I'm waiting for someone to sneeze at this pot right here. It may be us, actually. Right, everything's going good so far. Almost won big hands with a full boat. What's this guy? I don't think I could even screenshot it a worse flop. Yeah, I'm really just playing it out there. I'll go for some pin value. About 17 sounds good. Yeah. I'm not maybe doing like a liquid raise, but I feel like queen's good. It's good to do that with. I feel like it's better. So maybe do that with like kings or something. I don't mind checking, but since this is not heads up, let's do like a chunky C bet. All right. I guess with that, we were kind of just targeting like a strongish ace, like a ace 10 plus some weaker pocket pairs. Um, hmm. Shake it a little bit. It's a little cold where I'm at right now. I want to get the heater going, but it's not good for the audio. Right. Honestly, probably could have smoothed it. Probably could have smoothed it there, honestly. You know, 'cause I mean, he's just gonna, yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe I could just smooth it because I mean, like, it's like that if that river comes, he's still gonna keep betting. He's still gonna keep trying to pile the money in because I think the way that I played it, it looked like I had set. It kind of looked like I had a set almost. Um, and I really want him. I'm gonna do everything I can to keep him in. Yeah, I think obviously the result was good, but I think that turn re-raise probably wasn't bad. I think doing almost like a mid-raise is a little better than like shoving all in. Yeah, we're not drawn to nothing there. Oh, it's an old boy APOC. All right, let's do something like that. Um, Four, okay. I think that's close, probably. So I hope see the flop with 6-5. Oh, maybe kind of touching back over on what we talked about in the first half. Um, I feel like sometimes like if you kind of use poker as like an analogy for life, like you know concerted, specific, and thoughtful aggression um, beats passivity every time, and but it also beats um, mindless aggression. Like being selective with the hands you play, and in the times like you want to um, the times you want to kind of put yourself out there. Yeah. Hmm. I don't know what do I think about it. I feel like poker is definitely a good hobby to have. I think in terms of the, I guess, the pursuits, let's call them, that are also hobbies. Poker and things like chess are really good at analyzing situations and working on a improvement plan, so to speak, to get yourself better at that pursuit, at that hobby. And I think things like poker and chess can apply to so many aspects of your life that if you could use some of those lessons that you learned, I don't know, it's just going to pay off huge in the long run. Um, smooth call here. We're gonna do the same thing we did before. This is a little scary, but okay, cool. Maybe like he's just gonna call if he has like queen jack. like a flush, still has like a flush draw or something like that. Guess that turn just got maybe somewhat scary because straight drunk it's there. Like something like 8-9, like whether even if it's offsuit, would be like a very natural hand for a guy like that to have. I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like a coincidence that some of the very best poker players um, are also really good businessmen because again, they applied some of those skills that they get at the poker table with bankroll management and making high pressure decisions. A lot of them can apply that um, in other avenues. People talk about a lot about the turning into something that you enjoy into a job, and I think that's very important. If you can do that, I think that would be anyone's idea of whether it be success or happiness. Let's call it. But I think one piece of it that gets lost though is the importance of having hobbies, and um, it's not just for kind of mindless entertainment. It's also, I think, harnessing all the lessons that all the lessons that you gain from that hobby outside of whatever your main profession is. Because I think when you can do that, it's almost like you're learning twice in some ways. I'm by no means like adept in doing like live reads. Some dudes like was like a Charlie Carell, will they put out like a lot of content about like how to understand what the strength of someone's hand is just based upon like body posture and timing of bets and the way that they throw their chips in the pot and the way they stack their chips up. And it's not to say that none of those things are valid, but at the same time, though, like I don't even think you really have to think about it that deeply. Like just think about the times that you say like you go to a game that like has some of the same regulars, and you kind of develop like this almost like this second hand understanding like what they have um, it's like what they have before you even kind of look at your cards, and like those people skills that you develop at the poker table, like those translate whole a whole um, a whole shit ton a lot in regular life. And I'll say he's like gonna call there with the 710, but it's pretty trashy even with good direct odds to call. And I do like protecting my big stack. Yeah. Um, I think we're just gonna call here with the hope that no one was raising a monster. Mm. It's an okay flop, but it's not really the kind of flop we kind of want to continue too often. Right. So far, the only, I guess, big mistake, if you could call it that, was that King Jack hand. I mean, I guess on the King Jack hand, it felt kind of weird to think about that King Jack as a bluff catcher, but it really kind of was. 'Cause, I mean, even with his, I don't know, yeah, I think it was this guy, wasn't it? Um, Queen here is probably just good enough. But yeah, I mean, because I can't remember what the guy's stats were at the time, but just, he was pretty readily repping, like, Ace X and, um, I don't know. Uh, but at the same time, though, like, I don't really think you're ever going to make too much money in poker. Just like assuming, which time, I guess. Um, Probably should have bet with that Jack 10. But if assuming that someone has it every single time, I don't know, like when there's literally just only one Jack in the deck is like what has you beat. Because that played, I don't think he played it. He didn't play it like he had aces. So yeah, could just be everything about a little bit because again, like just any hand with a Jack in it was the main thing we were concerned about. So the raise pre, Let's check and see what time we got. Here, I'm gonna try to do two things at once. I'm gonna try my best to export my video while I'm doing the stream. Hopefully, it doesn't make the stream lag too much. Okay. Let's see, where's that video? Web is gonna let me edit it. May not let me edit it while I'm doing the actual stream. Okay. I think my main goal, though, for the say in the first video, I want to decrease the editing time. Okay, it's not a limp raise. Um, P27. I feel like I've been playing these pocket pairs pretty weekly. I kind of didn't want to do that against that guy. I mean, Queen Jack is probably good, but if he shoves it, I don't really like that. Okay, cool. Mm, I think we're gonna check it here. All right, we'll call one for that price. All right, we're gonna fold. likely. Yeah, it feels like a nine plus, pair of nines plus. Smashes his range. And I'm not sure about. I think I have a pretty good read on the situation, which means this is probably a fold. Anyway, I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, back to the way that I've restructured these videos. And I want to give a big shout out to Alex Anthony. Um, he is a very good, very solid um, online player. Um, he has a channel on YouTube called Free Poker Giveaway. He did some videos where he just, kind of shot it in one take and then chopped it up, just kind of like I'm doing. Um, this really kind of feels like a three bet situation with this guy with these stats, but I've done that once before. And 24. Hmm. Yeah. Again, I think we were playing these pocket pairs pretty weakly. Um, Probably could have found a call there, but it didn't really feel like we had odds to set line, and there's a chance we're ahead. But yeah, so yeah, he did download videos, cut them up in like 30-minute intervals, and just kind of posted them. And I think my goal for like all these challenges and for posting poker content on YouTube is to get out, like get better at poker, but also to put out, as many videos as I can, that are, um, um, yeah, just post as many videos as possible, and that's really it. Um, and yeah, I think this kind of helps accomplish that goal. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to edit this video while the stream is going on, so can I give that up? Unless is that it? So let me see here. Properties. Okay, this is the video. Right, so let's edit this actually. Edit. There we go. What do you guys use to edit your videos? I'm using the basic clip champ on excuse me, on Windows, but definitely open to suggestions on free video editors. I tried getting OpenShot a try. It's like an open shot. Sorry, it's an open source rather video editor. But I haven't been wholly impressed with it. And but at the same time, though, some of that probably has to do with I don't really, I don't really know how to work it too much. But Clipchamp seems, I guess, since I've started using it, it just seems a little more intuitive. I don't know if you guys like use like the old school Windows Movie Maker. Yeah, I used to post. I used to be on YouTube. I had a let's call it like I don't want to call it philosophy. I don't really want to call it a religious channel either. But at the time, there was like a big YouTube like debate community between like people that were more religious and people that are less religious. Some of them atheists, some of them agnostic. Some of them like somewhere in between. But yeah, I don't know. I posted a lot of videos like that when I was like 19 at the time. It was really kind of that's like a time period that people don't talk about a lot as like after you graduate high school. It's like when you truly form some of the opinions that are going to stick with you for the rest of your life. And you should definitely update those, while you're, you know, after, that time period, so they don't all stay necessarily. But I don't know, that was like a big time in my life because it's just, you get more, more freedom, obviously, but and also just more time away from your parents, like to kind of form your own um, worldview. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I use Windows Movie Maker a lot there. Actually got pretty good at video editing. I kind of lost some of those soft skills by not continuing to post on YouTube, which was not necessarily a bad thing because, as many of you were as well, I was undoubtedly an actual moron at 19 years old. But that's more than understandable because we don't really understand absolute jack shit about the world at that point in our life. So let's see, download, and then what do you- let's see here. Was it 9? 7 9, maybe 27. Or it feels like a fishy play, and I really. It's not like a double call, but it almost feels like a double call, which is normally a bad thing to do. Well, this is yeah. I think we're just gonna work hard to get the money in here. Yeah, it didn't work, but I mean, there was just so many cards there, even with even, even losing it out with the Ace of Hearts there. That there, and then there's the intro. Yeah, it wasn't for that, but I mean that was a beautiful situation to be set up in a multi-way pot with both sides of the straight draw and um, a chance to hit hearts. Uh, Probably just out some value there. I'm just kind of hoping like a guy like a 56-27 is just gonna kind of go for it, but he didn't. So we're gonna call one. Here, very unfortunate. That is going to happen sometimes. I think that actually puts us down, if I'm not mistaken. All right, guys. All right, I'm gonna stop it right here. I may try one more short little thing just to see if we can kind of get ahead. But if not, it's no big deal. So, all right, I'll see you guys on the other side.